Why is it not? This is A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, a place where you get to be an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kiki with A Who All Gonna Be Their podcast, the place where you get to become an exclusive member of our very entertaining group chat. As we mentioned before, at the end of the season of Big Brother Canada 10, that we're going to bring some people on and do some interviews and ask some questions that you put on Twitter for us to ask house guests. So today we do have a special guest. I'm actually going to pass the mic on to Tracy so she can introduce our guest.
Hey y'all, I have great privilege. I know everybody's fave. We enjoyed her, watching her throughout the season.
Yes, we
The drama, the mess, the realness, the real. I have to introduce our fave, Summer, to the podcast. Hey, hey, Summer.
Hi.
How are you doing tonight?
I am good. I am feeling blessed. People want to talk to me, so
they do.
Yes.
Hold up. Oh, where you got the little sweater from? Where you got the little cardigan? The people want to know.
My mother's closet.
I know that's right.
Wow. She's so cute.
Different closet, you know.
Gotcha. You got to mix it up sometimes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me ask you. To kick us off, can you tell us about your history with Big Brother? What got you interested in the show, and what inspired you to go on?
Okay, so Big Brother was always playing in the background whenever I'd go to visit my dad. So I kind of it at a very young age, Byyye USA. And then, it took for me to grow up, start working, and have my interactions with a problematic coworker. We had a situation that I took to HR, and of course, it didn't go my way. So I said, I'm going to be listening to these convos, and I'm going to figure out a way to get you back.
I know that's right.
They dropped a few shows that they liked. BBCAN was one of them, and I said, easy. I can get on a real show.
Not easy.
But it takes, and here we are.
I feel like you had one of the most iconic intro videos because, as soon as you dropped I'm doing this despite my coworker.
Yeah, we ate that up.
Crazy! It was so funny. Oh my goodness,
baby, we was fighting to put you on our draft list.
No, I was, or if I wanted to say that or not, because I was worried that audience members would think that I'm a bitch, I'm super petty, I'm vindictive.
But isn't that fun? That's who I like to watch.
People something to talk about, so I said, let me go with it. Because when I first auditioned, I didn't say that, and then I was like, okay, you know what? Third time to drop the real reason. Producers need to know, and it worked, so I'm happy.
Very memorable. Let me ask, what was your strategy going into the game?
Oh, Lord. Well, I did, 3 years worth of research. And the strategy that stuck out the most to me was just not having a strategy. Because I'm going to be thrown with. So I said, have a strategy. I'm gonna put my faith in the Lord, and my only friend is going to be Fox. In the back of my mind, I was saying I do want to win some vetoes, which didn't happen. And I did want to be in a 6-person alliance, which also didn't happen. But my main thing was putting my faith in the Lord and just doing my best, which I guess kind of worked for me for a while, but in the end, I probably should have had something more solid.
So when you first got into the house, based off first impressions, who was the person that you automatically saw and just like, oh yeah, I want to work with them? Like first night, whose energy did you feed off of?
Kevin.
Kevin, Lord, not Kevin.
About him just screams super fan or
He
super
really
fan.
did.
And I realized that because I'm not coming in here with a lot of knowledge, and I realized like how deep the Big Brother community can get, I was like, oh, I'm gonna need to align myself with a super fan to I help feed me the right kind of information. But it just didn't turn into anything. I don't know why. Kevin was just somebody that I always, had kind of close relations to, but game wise did not happen for whatever reason. Maybe because I didn't like telling me what to do, even though I needed somebody to help assist me. But I was like, you know what, you'll be my bro, but it just can't work out because a lot of people didn't on my side because we were referred to the other side a lot. They didn't really trust Kevin, so there's a lot of things that were running through my mind as well when it came to aligning myself with him. But he was definitely somebody that I really wanted to work with.
So in the safety chain, if Kevin had already been picked, who would have been your next pick in the safety chain? So let's see who was left. Marty, Helena, Gino, and JC.
Yes, so I probably would have picked either JC Lynn or Gino because I would know that what would come afterwards. It would kind of be, I know it's gonna happen. Whereas Kevin, I picked him because I didn't really know who he was aligned with. I kind of wanted to pick Helena just to see what she.
I'm glad you didn't, child.
But again, I was like, the community also watching. I don't want to.
That safety chain was crazy. Like, what was going through your mind? Just seeing it live because we watched it and it was like, to me, honestly, it was one of my top favorite moments in all of Big Brother. So, what was going through your mind when that was happening?
Finally, we have some power. Goddamn!
Listen, finally, Lord.
We have some power. And you know what? It just felt nice knowing that the person who did my number one dirty is going to get done dirty. As in front of all the people that they trusted and threw me under the bus for, they got what was coming for them. So
I know you said that Jess sent you a letter. Or she wrote you after the show and you didn't read it. Did she reach out afterwards and say anything about that?
No, not at all. I don't know if anybody sent them my IG live clips. I have no idea, but for me, if you damaged my game for no reason, game or no game, especially after all the times that I forgave them, I think that it was probably best that they just didn't respond afterwards. I would have liked an apology. I think that's the best, open that dialogue with me. But I think they kind of realized that that ship has sailed and there's no point of reaching out at all.
I agree. Just if you listening to this podcast, we would like a public apology. Because when you disrespect somebody,
you need to apologize.
I'm gonna just say that. That's just a messy in me. I have to say that.
Now for a lighter question, we actually have one of your fans, Raquel, wants to know, what is your rice recipe?
Rice recipe. The only thing that I made for those people because they were undeserving. But to be honest with you, it's just whatever I guess the ancestors were telling me to put in. We had seasonings. But we definitely mixed in some chicken broth with water. It wasn't just water. We washed our rice. We were one of the only few people who washed their rice. Let me start off.
Better wash their rice.
I like to put onion powder, garlic powder, what else? Salt, pepper, whatever was there, really.
Just whatever the Lord lay on your hand to touch.
Spend time smelling some random seasoning. I was like, okay.
You like, yeah, this gonna be good.
Yep. But I always use chicken broth as a base, not just water. Like you can't.
Okay. Let me write that down. Speaking of cooking. Speaking of cooking, there was a controversy with some of the guys in the house saying you don't cook, you don't clean. Therefore, they were not gonna cook and clean for you. Thoughts on that?
Even though they did anyways.
They did anyways.
Listen.
They did anyway. You know what the thing is? There were plenty of times where I cleaned. I just didn't announce it to everyone. There's been times where I woke up with everyone and I unloaded the dishwasher. I would spot clean throughout the house. I would throughout the house, but I didn't have to let people know, you know what? I cleaned. You know, props me up, hug me. I deserve all the attention. And same for cooking. No one said that I had to. You know, if I see you
right.
If I ask for it and you say yeah, what's the problem?
Right. It's Big Brother, not a big cook-off or Master Chef. What is happening?
Everyone was trying to say that we were in the cookout. It wasn't the big cookout, and I was trying to make it clear we're not cooking. And we all know if you're too comfortable in that house, people will target you. So I was like, well, I'm not about to get targeted like all the people who were cooking in the house. Gino, Tanisha, Herman. Marty did cook, but there was seasoning in that food.
Right. Oof. Nobody want that.
We saw. We know.
So yeah. Most of the people who were cooking for the house were getting targeted because they were too comfortable. So I just made myself appear as I'm some lazy girl. And you know, we have our down days. What's wrong with, you know, helping a sister out?
Right.
And they can pick up the mop.
Into another place. When it comes to my cooking, I don't want people spit in my food. There's people always like all over the place, all up
trying to. I know that's right.
No. It was a lot. I couldn't cook in peace. I couldn't cook the way that I wanted to. I didn't have my seasonings. I was just trying to survive.
Please.
So I need to know. I'm not gonna lie to you. We've had many and plenty of podcasts where I've been very upset with you. I'm gonna just be real, Summer. I was upset. Why was you throwing these cups, bro? I said, Summer, if you throw one more cup, I don't know what I was gonna do, but I know my blood pressure was on 47. I was going crazy, Summer. I just needed to see you in power one time.
Canada was ready for that.
Okay. I was crying.
That would have been epic.
About me being an HOH, and all I could say is I don't know if the world was ready for a Summer as HOH. What I would have done, it would have been too much. I think both Kevin and myself Canada was not ready for something like that.
Oh my god.
But yeah, if I had known that like my people were in danger, I would have stepped up my cookies, because I didn't realize that we were in danger like that. I thought, you know,
maybe every week.
Yeah, I was like, Herman and Gino have a good relationship. Tanisha, I think she's fine with a few of the other people. I think Moose is really good. So I just thought we were in good standing, when in reality, we're constantly seen as the other side, this group that everyone needs to dismantle. So if I had known that, because I overheard something about people saying that there was a cookout and whatnot, and I was like, are you talking about us or like first cookout? Like, I don't know what's happening. So yeah, no, there are times when I even sit to myself and I say, why? Why? But in the moment, it just didn't feel like we were in danger like that. So I said, why put a target on my back? Why break the bonds that I have going on? Because my people are good. I'm good. So it doesn't really make sense for me to be in power. I should be in power when I absolutely need to. And unfortunately, when I absolutely need to, I still can save my ass. So
who did you think was running the game, Summer? Like, from while you were in the house, obviously from the outside, we knew Kevin was running circles around everybody in that regard. Who was running the game from your view?
I think that Kevin was slightly running the game, but I also had feelings that maybe Gino as well, because Marty won a lot of power during our season, and Marty wasn't. So I was like, he can definitely pull strings, because this man, these two are involved with each other in some way. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I had a feeling as well, like I said, but I also said like, maybe I should be a little concerned about what Gino's doing.
That man betrayed Gino about 50 times. Go ahead, Treese.
Listen, 1,000,000 times. So I want to talk about the controversy of the buzzkill comp. So now social media, we lost it. Baby, when I tell you we was trending number 1, and ain't no way we said I know someone did not just throw it. I was flipping tables. Baby, they had to slow the camera down. Everybody's like, no, the buzz is broke. The buzz is broke. I'm just curious, was it that wild there for y'all, or were we just the ones acting crazy?
No, you guys.
Or did you think your button was broke too?
I thought something was wrong because when that buzzer would go off and I'd hit my button, I would hear other people's buttons go off. And I was like, no.
I got it for y'all.
Keep in mind, I felt that maybe that was my competition to win because, your girl's a Jeopardy champion. I did 5H, that's what we call it in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a champion. So I was like, I know my reflexes are on
A1.
Worst at this. It's impossible. So yeah, I was like, something needs to happen. And even in my mic, I was like, this shit rigged, run the tapes. What's going on?
Baby.
And because again, there'd be times where I'd hit my buzzer and then I'd see someone hit it twice and then their light would go off green. And I said, how does that make any sense? Please, the Lord, come for me. And the Lord still came for me for the next challenge. And then my dumb ass was like, let me get that pass card. Let me eat good. That slot was a way that I did not like.
That was hilarious, but I know people were so mad at that, but I thought it was funny. I'm just gonna be honest.
I was mad. I was mad.
I
was like, Summer, no!
Not my fault. If I had somebody in my corner to just tell me, sis, don't fall for those temptations. I didn't have anybody. I'm like, my number 1 was gone. What do you expect me to do?
Nobody had your back, man.
Yeah, the self-saboteur in me was like, girl, you're about to get more questions wrong. Just make sure you are eating good at the end of the day. When in reality, it's like, oh, you got all these questions right. I did not.
He was doing good.
Let me ask this. This is just a little bit of a pivot. You were in an alliance called Mandems. Can you tell me why you think, or do you think there's a reason why all girl alliances just don't work in Big Brother?
Because of Helena. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was for me.
You know what? Honestly, I don't want to say this about single women, but single women will always choose a man over the females. Thankfully, 2 of my girls, well, I thought because Helena was in a relationship, Tanisha was in a relationship, and so was Betty, it would be a good alliance because they're all in a relationship.
That was smart thinking.
And I didn't want a showmance of any sort. Some days I'd be like, oh, Hermione, you're so cute. And I'm like, no, because I don't want that one girl to turn on all of my girls. And it ended up still being somebody who was in a relationship but just had a stronger bond with Kevin for whatever reason.
Certain individuals.
Did you see her on her knees? Have you got to that part? Did you see Helena on her knees begging Kevin to stay? You ain't seen that yet, have you? I'm gonna send you a clip. On her knees, begging. I'm sorry.
And I've been during that self-eviction. But again, I was like, it must be the slop. It must be.
Child.
It had to be something, Lord.
The triple eviction. Prior to the triple eviction happening, there was a certain spoiler that went out that said Marty was gone and you and Betty was safe, right? So going into it was of course false, but going into the triple, everybody was like, "I girl, Summer safe. I got Betty safe." Wait,
we were celebrating before the episode even aired, man. Oh, we were so hurt.
It was a fake spoiler, just so you know.
It definitely was. Can you walk us through your feelings as or not even your feelings, what you were thinking as that triple was unfolding and Joshua put you up?
Okay, so prior to the triple, I was just getting these weird vibrations just in general. like, oh, I think my time might be up in this place.
Wow.
I don't know. And it's so weird. When I was in the shower again the day before the triple, the ancestors were like, what are you going to do about Joshua? And I was like,
Child, that was
what
me.
does that mean? I was like, and then I tried to jokingly say to him and Betty, like, oh, we should be like called the Pyramid. We should be called the Black Brigade. Like, we should put a name on this.
Dope.
We're a trio, I guess, but we don't have a name. And then yeah, I should have known that something was up when he was just like laughing it off instead of wanting to put a name on it, because the thing is, you could have close personal relationships with people, but if you don't have a name on whatever you have going on, it's
not legitimate.
You're not really anything. You just gotta hope that like maybe the person stays on code. But for the most part, if there's no name on it, then you're in trouble, especially if they don't want to put a name on it. So I packed all my things. I got my little Big Brother bag ready. And that was like circulating through my mind the day before. So I couldn't really sleep. And I was talking to Joshua about like if he was the HOH during the triple, and then what I would want to do if I'm the HOH next, and then our game plan. But even then, like, things weren't really sticking, and I was getting weird vibes. And then Gino gets evicted that day. I was like, yes, blessed Lord, he's gone. And then it's time to play the game for the triple. And you know what? You know me, I love Arissa Cox, so I get nervous when she hosts. And you know what? It's like this is auntie. You want to impress her, but you're also getting very nervous. And then like I started second guessing myself too much. And they didn't really show it on the episode, but there was times where like I would get the question right, and then I'm like, oh no, and then I'll just switch it to the wrong.
At the last minute.
Yes, and each time that I switched to the last minute, it was like, oh my god, you had the right one, and now you have the wrong one. So okay, JC Lynn seems like she may win. I still think we're in good standings because I talked to her before and I said like let's still build something if Gino does get evicted. And I was like, okay, Joshua, him and I are good. We have a good personal relationship, so I think I'm still good. So if it was either JC Lynn or Josh, I was like, I'm staying. And then Josh won. He said Marty, said JC Lynn, that said my name. I was like, oh.
What? Baby, we was dying.
Why did you put me up, my guy? I was dying.
Make any sense? And I was like, this is a huge blindside for me. Although I felt it, I didn't expect it. And I didn't know how he expected me to concentrate if he's gonna blindside me like this. It's like you should have just backdoored me or whatever, because now I don't really have a fighting chance. And also it was suspicious to me that Betty wasn't really like clocking him on it. I understand that, you know, maybe our relationship took a toll because I was torn between her and her mom. But at the same time, I was hoping that she would still vouch to Joshua and say like, this is not a good idea. This is not good for you. Just have somebody else in my corner. I didn't expect anything from anybody, to be honest with you, because I made it clear that Tanisha was my number one. But still, I still had some sort of expectation for all of us. You know, we've been saying like we're getting targeted one by one by one. Right. This is the talk that we've had. And now that, you know, one of us does have power again, apart from the chain of safety, we're not sticking by each other, and we're letting so yeah, long story short, I was like, you know what? I feel like I probably might not win this, which again, this is saboteur coming in. So I was like, you know what? If we're not gonna win this, let's just go cuss this boy out. Let's just give Canada
please.
Like cussing him out might have been bad for my game, but something told me he's probably going to put up Betty because he's definitely working with Helena and Kevin. He didn't put either of them up. Somebody never touched the block, and somebody who we all know is scheming. So
easy 2 targets.
Do you think that lost him the game, Summer?
Yes. Pardon?
Do you think that lost him the game? That betrayal? Do you think that was the turn that was like, you're not getting my vote?
Oh, absolutely. And once I got to the jury house and I just kind of said everything, it was game over for him. Like, Herman was done with him. Moose was done with him. I don't even think Marty
sealed the nail.
Long run, Gino, you know, I don't think he would vote for him either, because Gino knew that he was trying to conspire against him when Gino was on the block. So if he had cut me, When I thought he would potentially cut me was like, when it's me, him, Betty in the end, then it would have been better for him. But yeah, once you put this girl
it's over.
Jury house with her petty ass, just no, you're done.
That's it, huh?
Josh betrayed every single person in that jury, but then expected you guys to vote for him in the end.
Yeah. And again, what didn't make sense to I guess specifically the POC jury members is that you can't play this anti-Black game and then talk about your speech. It doesn't make any sense because it didn't reflect the game that you're playing, at least towards the end. But it just seemed like all of us when I'm watching the show, it's like Herman was in shit to him, I was in shit to him, Betty was in shit to him.
Everybody.
Do you feel like if he would have been more forthcoming with his game and not been like, oh, I'm all for Black people winning, I want a Black woman to win, and then cut all y'all basically and expect y'all to vote at the end? Do you think if he dropped the POC part and then was more forthcoming with his game, that he was cutting y'all for his game to win, do you think he would have gotten more votes, or you think he maybe would have won?
These kinds of questions are a little hard because I'm not too sure. I have to be in the moment to be able to really answer. But I'll just say maybe.
It depends on how petty you.
Yeah, especially because most of us were saying that we just want to keep it real with each other. That's relatively the game that we're trying to play. I think that would have landed better for him with us, especially with me, I would say, because I just said, like, keep it real with me. Even if there was times where, like, Helena, for example, came to me and she would say, you know what, I definitely don't have a final two with Marty. It's impossible. I may have to cut him myself. And I said, girl, I was working with him in the beginning of the game. I don't care what you have going on. It does not matter to me. I was that person. I said, I don't care. I don't care. Like, just be honest with me and I'll be more understanding and I'll like you more and I'll respect you more. You could be different with each house guest and that's fine, but me specifically, I just said, like, I prefer somebody who keeps it real with me. So just do it. You don't have to big brother me. Not that I expect to not be big brothered, but it's like, damn, I'm making it clear that I don't care about these things. You're allowed to have your side dealings thing,
Right.
Right. Let me ask a fan question. Let me pick a good one. Let me see. Besides Tanisha, who do you think would have been your number two? Like, let's say the game is fresh, it's a whole new game. Tanisha not available. Who do you think would have been your number two in the game?
I think a good number two for me would have either been Kevin or Herman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. I just feel like if it was Herman, we would have been targeted. But I just feel like, I know it sounds bad, but I just wanted to have a white person in my back pocket.
Right. I get that.
There's going to be things that I won't be able to do because of my shell, and it's just a fact. As much as people like to say it's just a game, it's just a game. Yes, it is just a game, but there are still social barriers that play a significant role in this game. How do you expect us to remove all of the social issues that we're coming in with?
Right.
In 70 days, it doesn't make any sense. And I know that there are certain privileges that come with being white, and there's also certain privileges that come with being Black or a person of color. So it's like, shoot, if I can get this going on, I have my dealings on one side, they'll have their dealings on the other side. But I think what's from Kevin being my number two or my number one is the fact that I do belong to this community and I gotta deal with the aftermath. So if I decided to rogue vote Tanisha to appease Kevin and that other side, how would that look for me? If I was throwing my own under the bus left, right, and center, how would that look for me? If I was lying, manipulating, and stealing like Kevin said he was gonna do, how would that? So that was a big problem with me with choosing a number two and an additional person. I did kind of go with Marty, and Marty exposed that to Tanisha, but in the long run, I don't think that would have been a good idea for me. So yeah, same question. Kevin or just strengthening my relationship with Herman would have been the best for my game.
So there was another. Go ahead, Reese. Oh, so there's another question under the fans, right?
Oh Lord.
The person who asked the question was Stir the Pot Poppy, aka Herman. He said, "Who's your favorite house guest?" Looking eyes, looking eyes, looking eyes.
Was my favorite house guest. Even though she doesn't count, Avista obviously visited.
You so messy. She said Arissa.
With the best of the best afro looking cut every Thursday.
Yes.
But yeah, actual house guest who brought me joy. I would say, yeah, no, I didn't have a favorite. Obviously, I love Tanisha, I love Herman, I love Betty. Moose was a joy. I love Joshua too. You know, the other side. I love
yeah.
And of course, Kevin makes that list as well.
Did you feel that you were the other side? So, of course, on the outside, right? We're on Twitter, we're listening to, and we're watching the live feeds, and we're hearing, like Marty say, refer to you guys as the other side, for example.
Yes.
Did you feel like the other side in the house, or when you came out, you realized that you were referred to as the other side?
I heard like terms like the other side. I don't know if this was referred to us as well, but I heard the term Gen Pop, which is very problematic as well.
What?
Don't be calling it.
They edit that out.
And then when certain people would campaign, like for example, when Jess and Kyle were on the block, I would always hear my name, Betty's name, and Tanisha's name always being grouped together. Person was pitching that and that person's pitching that. Even for Marty, when we had Smarty going on, he automatically told Tanisha about it, thinking that, oh, we're super close, so I'm just gonna tell her about what's going on, and then it made me look sketchy and it pissed me off. And then Marty would only ever question me about Betty. Jess would only ever question me about Helena and Betty. So I was like, why are people only asking me about my relationships with specific people and not no one ever asked me about Kevin. The only time somebody asked me about Kevin was in the safety. Nobody ever asked me about Gino. Nobody ever asked me about JC Lynn. Nobody even ever asked me about my relationship with Marty. It was only a select few people. And that's when I started to say, like, hey, we're really seen as the Black Panther right now. Like,
yeah.
What went on? And you know what? I honestly, now that we're speaking about it, I wish that we just had done something together, because that's how we're really seen. Me and Herman were seen as a showman, so I should have just done that. Me, Tanisha, Eddie should have just been in something, and the other side should have just done something. Because again, I wanted to just have something with Tanisha and Betty, but I was like, we're asked to be more inclusive. We're asked to question our racial biases. We're asked to, not be ageist. We're not asked to be, we're asked to be a different person when we're coming in here than the person that,
to step outside the box.
So I'm like, step out the box, add this person, only for it to just mess me up.
Listen. You're supposed to step outside the box with everybody putting you in a certain box anyway. So you're like, what am I supposed to do?
Hey, well done. Why the Martys and the Kevins and the Kyles and some other people, I wonder why they didn't adhere to that. Because a lot of times, like when Black or POC players go into the game, like they go into the game looking for that diversity, but for some reason, like players just always group them together, or white players always group them together. While we're
they would not say anything even when like I don't think it was aired, but when Kyle was talking about me, Tanisha, and Betty, I was like, oh, the 3 Black girls, and he was like, oh, well, that's not how I see it.
We caught that. It's easier. Save yourself some breath.
Right. Just say the word. While we're talking about playing Big Brother while Black, do you have any advice for future Black Big Brother players on how they should navigate the game?
I would say, what would I say?
Pack your seasonings.
What I would say is, what you deal with on the outside world is going to be the same ish that you deal with in Big Brother. You cannot remove your skin. You cannot remove bar. So just embrace it. Take all the techniques that you've used in the workplace and in school and apply it there. And don't be shocked when you see, the outside world portrayed in this little sub community that we have going on.
All right.
And, if people say like, hey, I think these folks are working together, just work together.
Listen, you might as well.
You might as well. Your bond,
anyway,
because they will be coming for you, and there's going to be no way for you to convince these people otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they feel. That's just how they feel. And also, I would say, don't be afraid to just be apologetically Black, because I was worried about the house. I was like, some days I like to do a little celebratory twerk, but I was like, how are people gonna say this? They're gonna call me ghetto. They're gonna call me rap. I was like, you know what?
They're gonna call you that anyways. Shake your ass, girl.
Wear our body ceremonies. We're gonna wear Afro out. We're not gonna only styles. We're gonna let people know, no, you cannot touch my fro.
Exactly.
Look, I legit got into an argument on Reddit because a woman was on there. How come Summer never straightens her hair? I don't know. How come y'all don't ever take a bath every day? Like, what's going on? Do you know how big arguments that was? Like, let black women be black women.
Right.
Exactly.
Lord.
And you know what? Arissa was actually my inspiration to do my big chop and to never really put heat on my hair. So I was like,
love that.
We're not gonna do it. I thought about it, but I said, what's the point? We're here to, show my sisters that wear the Afro Latin proud.
Love those curls.
Have your bonnet, do whatever you want.
Yes.
You are here, you are taking up space. And I'm shocked that I'm actually proud of myself for reaching a point in my life where I'm like comfortable being on national television in a bonnet and in my Afro, because trust me, it was protective hairstyles 24/7 for years.
Wow.
Never kept in my hair out or anything of that nature. Maybe if I was getting paid like in a music video and whatnot.
Yeah, right.
But not to that extent. So yeah, I'm actually happy. I'm so happy.
And I really it's great.
Thank you.
Does. I really loved how you, especially, but a lot of y'all took Moose under y'all wings. He was braiding his hair, baby. We had that bonnet on every night. Right. I was like, get mans together.
That was looking good.
Oh my gosh, I loved it.
Yes, we were unsure. Because I know Moose, he identifies as like Arab.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, brother, you from Libya, you're African.
Exactly. We said that on the pod so many times. I was like, you can group with us.
I was like, we have the same hair. I need to help you out. We need to get you walking around that Afro that's too dry. We need to shape it.
Right.
Let's help you. You moisturize.
Yes.
I loved it.
That was taking Kevin's hair. His hair never looked dry. Not one single day. That's hilarious.
Let me see. Do you have any jury tea that we don't know about that you can drop on us? This is Tracy's messy corner. Any tea you want to drop? Because I'm a little thirsty.
Where's jury? Yeah.
I want to hear that story. That one.
Yeah. Well, Helena's favorite drink is Hennessy, so we got lit off of Hennessy.
Oh Lord!
Wait a minute, hold on, Hennessy.
Yes.
Wow.
So
were there any relationships brewing outside of the showmance stuff in the
We won't talk about it.
So that means yes. Okay. Next.
He is Hennessy, and I didn't enjoy living with Marty.
I don't think anybody would enjoy that. I'd rather eat glass than live with him.
It wasn't fun at all. And Jory was nice, But yeah, it was just annoying because, you know, we would have our moments similar to in the house, but it's like there's no camera, so like I want to cuss you out, but Canada's not gonna see, so what's the point?
It's like, you're not even worth my time.
Yeah.
I'm did JCPenney have any smoke for you in that jury house?
Oh no, not
because
at
you know
all.
she had a smoke when them cameras was up.
Oh,
so I was curious if she came into that jury house, talking hot.
I heard, and you know, I kind of had feelings that she was talking because there would be so many times where I would hear Summer, and I kept saying like a joke that like, oh, these summer vacations are getting a little suspicious. I don't know. I know you are talking about me, and of course, like, why wouldn't you got a little thing going on?
Your little thing.
So I was like, yeah, I know that she's definitely talking, and Helena was. So Helena was the person who snitched on our stuff to Kevin, but Helena was the person who snitched to me with JC Lynn stuff. So
and she was egging it on.
Oh yes. I know that too. So no, she didn't really have anything to say at all.
Sounds about right.
I was the only person who actually came to her, I think, on the show, and I don't know what was aired or what made it to live feeds, but I said like, hey, is there like an issue?
We saw that. She was ducking all the smoke.
Yeah. Then just say but if not, then you know, I'm gonna do my thing, but I'll just like let you guys do what you want to do.
Let me ask you a very serious question, real quick. Gino and JCPenney, is that a real relationship or?
I'm
kidding. I don't want to get you into any trouble, Summer.
Do you allegedly? Do you think it is?
Yeah, I think they're together. They're Joe Jackson. Takes to the outside. So yeah, just for me, in general, I like to question any relationship that is that grows in an environment where expected to lie, manipulate,
that
and just be nasty. So yeah, I assume that it's real. And you know, I of course wish them the best. You know what? They could probably make a lot of money off of being with each other. Just like, you know. So
come on, cash grab.
Yes. So yeah, I have no idea if it's real or not. It looks real. I hope it's real. Why not make that money? And
right. Secure the bag.
Do you like Herman with the facial hair or without?
I'm a facial hair person. He sent me a photo of him with a mustache.
Whoa.
But I'm just who likes facial hair. I just prefer that. So I like hair all around, you know, like hair on the head and hair on the face, and now it's just hair nowhere.
So what you trying to say is y'all be sending each other pictures? Okay, that's what I got from that.
He'll still send something, but I'm sure it's one of those snaps that he sends to everybody.
Herman, we need confirmation on that.
Or you know those ones where like they send it to you, but it's also on their story.
You like,
that don't count.
Right.
It's not personal.
Right.
So we have two more questions for you. The first one is, would you ever play again? And if you had to choose who you want to play with, who would it be?
From my cast?
Anybody.
Okay. So I'm torn when it comes to playing again. So part of me says no, because we don't want to forever be known as a house guest, okay?
Right.
But we want something else. But a part of me also wants to do it again. Now that I know how deep the community goes, how deep you can go when it comes to strategizing. And you know what? I feel like if a lot of what I had built had not, I feel like if most of what I had built early on the game had not been dismantled because of, we're not even gonna go call it what it is.
Yeah.
But it's a huge factor. I feel like I could have gone very far. So yeah, part of me does want to play again, and I think that I would want to play with maybe just Herman to see what kind of can do, or
I would like to see that.
yeah, but I'd be like, I'd have to be like, girl, don't be cooking for these people. Don't be these people's mothers, you know. But I want to see what two strong Black people can do, like male and female, and maybe a sister too, like maybe a strong Black trio. Let's see how we can.
I would love it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that's just what we need. It's gonna, of course, take a lot of internal work as well, because even as I'm reflecting on my own game, watching breakdowns from the perspective of pro-Black people in the community, I'm like, oh dude, like even in some aspects I was kind of playing an anti-Black game because I was trying to be inclusive, when it was like, oh, you're making mistakes, you're putting your own people at risk, you're throwing your own people under the bus. What are you doing in the name of diversity? What are you doing? So yeah, I'm still leaning towards yes. If I get asked, yes, and I would want it to hopefully be with her mom. But again, we're also torn with, we don't want to be a house guest anymore. We don't want to be smelling other people's hair.
Listen, they need to do a BBUS and BB Canada All Stars. And if they do that, Summer, if you say no, I promise I will find you myself. And I will give you all the smoke. You better say yes to that.
Oh gosh, okay, maybe. You know, the thing is, even though I played on BBCAN, I am a dual citizen. My father's American, so I was like, what if I want to play with the American?
You should. You'd be great.
That would be dope.
Oh, I would love to see that.
So, Summer, finally, I really want you to tell the audience what you have, what's next for you. Like, what are you working on? What should we be looking out for?
So the main thing to look out for is my YouTube channel, the Say Some Show, SAYSUM show. I'm hoping to, monetize that platform now that who care about what I'm doing. And I also want to use that platform to take control of my own narrative, because I've learned through my experience on BBCAN that you can still be yourself, and people can chop it and screw it and put out a whole other version of you that you don't even know, or you didn't even know that you said certain things, or you know what. So I kind of want to start taking initiative of my own narrative and my own story, and being on that show made me realize how important it is to tell your own story. And being on BBCAN as well made me realize how much I love being on set. Like, yes, that was a house, but it was also a set. And I would hopefully one day want to pursue an acting career of some sort. So, stay tuned. As I said when I was exiting that house, this will not be the last time you see me on your TV screen. And
I know that's right.
So yeah, for right now, it would be focusing on my YouTube channel, and then road, just stay tuned for something. I don't know what it is, but it's something.
Oh, I'm
something from Summer. Stay tuned.
Yes. Yes. And audience, we want to thank you so much for tuning in. We have Twitter and YouTube audience right now. And thank you so much for tuning in to this interview. Thank you for being an exclusive member of this very entertaining group chat. Summer, thank you for being an exclusive member of this very entertaining group chat. Thank you for coming. And we really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Don't be no stranger now.
Oh, of course. Just all the time. Hit me up.
Yes.
We got you. We got you. We will definitely keep in touch.
Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.